In this video, we are going to look at the first step to adding some content to your Schoology course. Hopefully you did read over the information provided before clicking play on this video, because it's really important that you already have a map in mind of how you want your course to look. How do you want your course to be organized? Because it is important before you really dive into an active course and start setting things up. But let's look at that folder creation process and how deep you can go with folders. So we're in our Schoolbox or our Sandbox course here, and we're going to click on Add Materials. And the very top thing you see is Add Folder. When you do that, you are going to name your folder. So I'm going to call this Unit 1. You can choose a folder color. By default, it's always blue. So it is nice to mix it up. Maybe choose some Carlisle green. You do not have to add a description, and I am going to show you the difference between when there's a description and when there isn't a description to show you what that looks like for your students. So for now, let's just put in a basic description. Contains all Unit 1 materials. Just nice and basic to show you the concept. Down here, you have an option to have this publish on a certain date, or it's just already published. As far as publishing on a certain date and at a specific time, many people will use this if they're going to be absent and they have an absent work folder and they don't want their students to access the materials ahead of time, especially if they're going to be out for a few days and they've prepared materials ahead of time, and they don't want their students on Monday to already be accessing the work for Wednesday. So you can set a publish date, and by default, it does 11:59 p.m., so it will default to that time and publish at that time for you. We're just going to leave this as published. You can also have it unpublished, and there's that publish on a specific date. And we're going to click Create, and that's going to throw that right here at the top. If I add my next folder, Unit 2, maybe I like having a lot of different color on my page, so I'm going to make this one blue. I'm not going to add a description or anything. I'm just going to click Create. And you'll notice I put it right down below here. Anytime you do add materials, whatever you add is going to add it to the bottom of the page, unless you click this little dotted line. So you see when I floated over this spot on my screen, I got this dotted line with a plus, and it comes up right here too, between any items on here. So maybe I want to have at the very top, course information, a course information folder. And I want that up at the top. I can add that by clicking on that dashed line and the plus. It gives me all of my add materials option. If you want to, you can drag these folders and move them around as well. So just a little FYI, as you're working with the folders in your course, you can move things around and you can choose where they go, but by default, they're always added at the bottom of the page. So right now, I don't have anything in these folders. I do have a description on this one, so you can see the description is automatically open. The others do not have a description, so there is nothing there. I'm going to pause the video and show you with a little more content in each of these folders. If you click on the arrow next to each of these folders, it will show you all of the contents of that folder. So now within my Unit 1, I can see that I have a folder for Lesson 1, a folder for Lesson 2, and a folder for Lesson 3. I can open each of those. They are all empty right now, but you can dig deeper and go directly. If your students know you are in Unit 1, Lesson 2, and there's a specific item in here you want them to click on, this is the fastest way to get here, by opening these and selecting within the folder where you want to go. So that's just an option as you are working with folders to get from place to place within your course. So that's just a quick look at creating folders and starting to build that content within your Schoology course.